Imagine an arrogant and confident millionaire encountering the most unexpected scene of his life. In a hospital bed, lying fragile and serene, is a girl who mysteriously looks just like you. And to top it off, she is identical to her daughter who disappeared a few years ago. He couldn't believe what he saw. Michael has been carrying deep pain since the day Isabella disappeared. But there, before him, is the solution to a riddle that has haunted him for so long. The search for answers finally finds its starting point, and hope is renewed in the heart of this millionaire, now stripped of his armor of riches and power. But before I tell you this story, just check if you are already subscribed to the channel, because the next videos will move you even more. On a rainy afternoon, thick drops of rain hit the hospital windows, creating a comforting and constant sound. Michael Sanders, a respected and successful businessman, rushed into the hospital. His impeccable suit contrasted with the hustle and bustle of the place. He had an urgent meeting, and his anxious gaze swept the busy corridor in search of where he was supposed to be. As he walked, a scene caught his attention. A fragile child lying in a hospital bed seemed small and vulnerable amid the sterile, impersonal environment. His eyes, still full of innocence, were closed, and his breathing was light and calm. Michael paused for a moment, his heart clenched at the sight of childish frailty. He approached the bed, curious and worried at the same time. Who was that child? What would have brought her there? These questions echoed in his mind as he watched the little patient's calm face. Michael felt a lump form in his throat. He was not a man of superficial feelings, but something about that scene touched him deeply. Maybe it was the memory of his own childhood, or maybe it was the inherent vulnerability of the human condition that we all share. With a sigh, he decided to continue on his way. The meeting still awaited him, and he couldn't afford to be late. He didn't know how or when, but he felt like he needed to do something to help that child. As he headed to his meeting, the image of the child continued to haunt him. He couldn't get her out of his head, and a feeling of uneasiness accompanied him throughout the encounter. His words seemed empty and distant as his mind wandered back to the hospital hallway where the child still rested, unaware of his presence. After the meeting, Michael decided to take a break before returning home. He needed time to process everything that had happened that day. With hesitant steps, he returned to the hospital corridor, hoping that the child was still there. Michael's heart leaps in his chest as he takes a closer look. The child, with his eyes closed, bears a striking resemblance to him as a child, the same blue eyes, the same nose shape. He can hardly believe what he sees. Was it possible that that unknown child was somehow related to him? Before continuing, I noticed that you haven't left your like on this video yet. This is very important for YouTube to continue delivering our videos to you. So, leave a like on this video, it's free. Michael's thoughts fly to the past, to old memories he had buried deeply. Memories of a childhood marked by challenges and losses, but also by moments of joy and love. And there, before him, was a child who seemed to carry with him a part of his own past. With his heart pounding, Michael moves even closer to the child's bed. He bends down gently, taking in every detail of the sleeping face. The familiar features leave him breathless, and he feels a wave of emotion overflowing within him. For an instant, he sees himself reflected in the child's closed eyes. He sees himself, the dreamy boy he once was, facing the world with courage and determination. But he also sees the fragility of childhood, the vulnerability we all carry in our hearts. Then an instant of recognition hits him like a bolt of lightning. He realizes that that child is not just a stranger, but a part of his own story. She is his daughter, the result of a love lost in time, but never forgotten. Tears well up in his eyes as he absorbs the magnitude of the revelation. Everything makes sense now, the blue eyes, the distinctive nose, even the inexplicable feeling of connection he had felt from the first moment he saw her. Carefully, Michael gently touches the child's hand, as if he wanted to confirm that it was all just a dream. But the soft, warm skin beneath his fingers is real as the love he feels for that little life that now reveals itself as part of his own. And there, in that moment of recognition, Michael knows that his life has changed forever. No matter what the future holds, he is determined to be by his daughter's side, to protect and love her with all the strength of his heart. For now he knows that he is not alone in the world, that there is someone who unites him with the past and the future, someone who makes him feel complete in a way he never imagined possible. And with this certainty, he prepares for the most important and exciting mission of his life, the journey of becoming a father. His body shakes with a mixture of shock, fear and hope. He feels as if he is facing an abyss, about to plunge into an ocean of unknown emotions. The initial shock gives way to a torrent of conflicting thoughts and feelings. He remembers the past, the happy moments he shared with the love of his life, and the heartbreaking pain of loss. He remembers how he swore never to love again, never to open himself to the risk of pain again. But now, in front of this child, he feels a spark of hope light up inside him. A gentle voice whispers in your heart, urging you to face your fears and move forward. Is it possible that he will have a second chance to find his lost happiness? His thoughts are interrupted by the sound of a soft voice next to him. She is the hospital nurse, looking at him with concern. She notices the agitation in his eyes and offers words of comfort, but his thoughts are far away, lost in a whirlwind of emotions. Michael tries to gather his strength, tries to focus on the present, but it's hard to ignore the urgency pulsing in his chest. He knows that he needs to find out the truth, that he needs to find a way to confirm that this child is really his long-lost daughter. With a deep sigh, he turns to the nurse and asks to speak to the doctor responsible for the child's case. He needs answers, he needs clarity amid the chaos of his emotions. While waiting for the doctor, Michael feels his body shake once again. This time, it's not just fear, but an overwhelming emotion that threatens to consume him completely. He knows he's about to discover the truth, and whatever it is, it will change his life forever. Suddenly, Michael's mind is flooded with long-forgotten memories. He recalls moments from his childhood, moments with his family, especially those with his daughter, who mysteriously disappeared years ago. The memories come as vivid flashes, transporting him back in time to a place where the pain was still fresh and hope was just a fragile thread. He sees himself running across the sunny lawn of his old home, holding his daughter's small, warm hand. They are laughing, joking, creating memories he will never forget. He remembers the tight hugs, the goodnight kisses and the conversations around the dinner table. But then, the memories become cloudy, distorted by the shadow of her daughter's disappearance. He remembers the anguish in his heart, the feeling of helplessness as he desperately searched for any clue that could lead him to her. Each day without answers was unbearable torture, an open wound that never healed. And now, faced with the possibility that the child in the hospital is her lost daughter, all these memories resurface with overwhelming intensity. He wonders if he could have done more, if he could have been a better father, if he could have prevented the tragedy that separated them. But even in the midst of remorse and pain, a flame of hope continues to burn within him. A gentle voice reminds you that it's never too late to start over, it's never too late to make peace with the past and embrace the future with courage and determination. With a heavy heart but full of determination, Michael prepares to face the unknown. He knows the road ahead of him will be difficult and full of challenges, but he is willing to face them head-on if it means finding his lost daughter and bringing her home. In disbelief, Michael approaches the child. He can't believe this is possible. However, the longer he looks at the pale, familiar face, the more he becomes convinced that there is a deep connection between them. His heart pounds inside his chest, echoing with the urgency of a truth he's not yet ready to accept. He feels like he's in one of those moments that only happen in movies, when fate weaves its invisible threads and brings people together in inexplicable ways. But this is real life, not a fairy tale, and Michael knows that reality can be much more complex and unpredictable than any made-up story. However, even in the face of all the doubts and uncertainties, a part of him wants to believe. A part of him longs for that lost connection, for that chance to find his daughter and bring her home. It's a fragile hope, almost imperceptible, but it continues to pulse within him like a stubborn flame that refuses to go out. With hesitant steps, he bends down next to the child's bed. His eyes meet, and for an instant, there is a flicker of recognition in the girl's eyes. It's as if they share an ancient secret, a story that only the two of them know. And then, something extraordinary happens. A shy smile forms on the child's lips, a smile that lights up the entire room with its purity and innocence. It's as if, for a brief moment, all of Michael's doubts and fears disappeared, replaced by the certainty that he is in the right place at the right time. A feeling of calm and acceptance washes over him as he holds the child's hand. It's as if he finally found a piece of himself that had been lost for so long, as if all the pieces of the puzzle finally fell into place. And so, in that moment of connection and recognition, Michael's journey is faced with a new life filled with challenges and obstacles, but also with hope and redemption. And as he rises from the child's bed, his heart is lighter than it has ever been, ready to face whatever fate has in store for him and his lost daughter. Determined to uncover the truth, Michael goes to the doctors and nurses in search of information about the child. He is willing to do anything to find out if this child is really his lost daughter. His footsteps echo through the hospital hallways, his mind agitated with a mixture of anxiety and hope. Finding a group of doctors and nurses gathered at a nursing station, Michael approaches with determination. He is not willing to be deterred by obstacles or adversity. If there is a chance, however small, that this child is his, he will do whatever it takes to find out the truth. With a steady voice, he asks his questions, begging for any information that might shed light on the child's identity. He asks for medical records, for details about her story, for any clue that might help him solve the mystery that consumes him. The doctors and nurses look at him with compassion and empathy, but also with understandable wariness. They explain that, for privacy and confidentiality reasons, they cannot provide specific details about patients. However, they promise to do their best to help and offer their support in any way necessary. Michael feels a wave of frustration and despair threatening to overwhelm him. He's so close to finding the answers he's been searching for, and yet it seems like every door he tries to open is closing before his eyes. But he refuses to give up. He clings to his determination like a beacon of hope in the midst of darkness. With a resigned sigh, he thanks the doctors and nurses for their time and walks away to find a quiet place where he can gather his thoughts. He knows he will need a different approach, a new strategy to unravel this complicated riddle. He doesn't know what the future holds, but he is determined to face it with courage and determination, no matter what. Because when it comes to a father's love, there is no obstacle big enough to stop him from moving forward. As Michael delves deeper into the investigation, he discovers intriguing clues that lead him to believe the child may actually be his missing daughter. He follows a trail of documents and testimonies that lead him to believe there is something bigger going on. Each clue he discovers is like a puzzle piece, fitting together perfectly to form an increasingly clearer picture of the truth. He spends hours combing through medical records, interviewing hospital staff, and following any clue that might help him unravel the mystery that haunts him. His fingers are eager as he flips through the files, his heart pounding with the excitement of the imminent discovery. As the night progresses and the hours turn into days, Michael finds himself increasingly involved in the search for the truth. He barely sleeps, his mind working nonstop as he considers every possibility, every branch of the investigation. And then, finally, he finds something that takes his breath away. A witness who claims to have seen a child very similar to the one in the hospital being taken away by a mysterious woman years ago. The description perfectly matches his missing daughter, fueling the flames of hope within Michael. He follows this new lead with renewed determination, following each lead with single-minded devotion. He searches the city's darkest corners, talking to unknown people and investigating every alley and street for any sign of his lost daughter. And then, in a moment of thrilling revelation, he finds what he was looking for. A piece of evidence that sheds light on the mystery of his disappearance and confirms your suspicions that the child in the hospital is really his daughter. His heart is racing as he holds the evidence in his shaking hands, his eyes shining with the thrill of discovery. He knows there is still a long way to go, that many challenges await him, but he also knows that he is closer than ever to finding his daughter and bringing her home. As Michael delves deeper into the investigation, he is confronted with his own turbulent past and family secrets that have been buried for years. He faces the weight of his own choices and regrets. Each clue he follows seems to open a new door to a dark chapter of his personal story, a chapter he had hoped to leave behind. Long-forgotten memories resurface with overwhelming intensity, like ghosts from the past crying out for redemption. He remembers the sleepless nights, the heated arguments, the tears shed in secret. He remembers the times he chose the easy path instead of the right one, and the price everyone paid for his hasty decisions. As he confronts these uncomfortable truths, a sense of despair threatens to overwhelm him. He wonders if it's possible to find redemption after so long, if it's possible to undo the consequences of his past actions. But then, a small voice inside whispers words of hope, reminding him that it's never too late to do the right things. With renewed determination, Michael delves even deeper into his search for the truth. He knows that facing his past is the only way to find his daughter and bring her home. He is willing to face his inner fears, to face the judgment of others, if it means finding the redemption he seeks. At a crucial moment, when Michael is about to give up his search, he finds shocking evidence that confirms his suspicions. The truth finally comes out, revealing a surprising twist that changes everything. It's at the end of a long night of investigation when he stumbles upon a dusty box forgotten in a dark corner of the attic of his family's home. With shaking hands, he opens the box and finds a collection of old photographs and yellowed documents. Among them is a neatly folded letter, the contents of which make your heart race with a mixture of excitement and shock. The letter reveals the truth he has been searching for, a truth that has been kept hidden for years. He reads the written words with an almost palpable intensity, each sentence resonating within his soul like an echo from the past. And then, the moment he finishes reading, everything falls into place. The pieces of the puzzle come together in an instant of crystal clarity, revealing a picture he could never have imagined. The child in the hospital is actually his daughter, but she wasn't taken by a mysterious woman. She was taken by someone much closer, someone he would never have suspected. Someone who, until that moment, he considered part of his own family. It's a shocking revelation, a betrayal that cuts deeper than any knife. But it is also a time of liberation, a time when the truth is finally revealed and all the lies and deceit are exposed to the light. With a lump in his throat, Michael rises from the attic floor, evidence box in hand. He knows that the path ahead of him will be difficult and painful, but he also knows that it is the only way forward. He is determined to confront those who betrayed him, to face the past with courage and determination. For now, more than ever, he knows he is not alone. He has the truth on his side, and with that, he's ready to do whatever it takes to bring his daughter home. With his heart racing, Michael reunites with the child at the hospital. Their eyes meet, and in a moment of pure emotion, they recognize each other. The tears flow freely as father and daughter embrace, finally together again. It's an instant of pure happiness, a moment they've been waiting for years, and now that it's finally arrived, it feels almost surreal. Michael holds his daughter in his arms, feeling her warmth and presence beside her. He can hardly believe that she is there, alive and safe, after being lost to him for so long. It's as if a huge weight has been lifted from your shoulders, replaced by a sense of relief and gratitude that leaves you speechless. His daughter looks at him with eyes full of love and recognition, her lips curved in a radiant smile. It's as if she knows, instinctively, that he is her father, her protector, her hero. And Michael feels his heart overflow with love for this child he barely knows, but who already means everything to him. They stay there for a while, lost in each other's embrace, sharing the comfortable silence of someone who knows they don't need words to express what they feel. When they finally pull apart, Michael's eyes are red and wet, but his expression is one of pure determination. He knows there's still a lot of work to be done, a lot of questions to be answered, but now he has something he was missing before, the certainty that he's not alone, that his daughter is by his side, ready to face whatever comes his way. The future holds for them. As father and daughter reconnect, a wave of healing sweeps over them. The love and joy of being together again dispels all the hurts of the past. Michael finds a new purpose in his life, dedicated to caring for and protecting his daughter. They spend their days together, creating new memories that replace the old ones, tinged with sadness and longing. Michael is determined to make up for all the lost time, to build a bright future for his daughter, where she feels loved, safe and happy. As the months pass, Michael witnesses the transformation in his daughter. She blossoms under his love and care, regaining the confidence and joy that had been stolen from her for so long. Her smiles become more frequent, her eyes shine with an inner light that has been dormant for a long time. The love he feels for his daughter transforms him from the inside out, dispelling the shadows of the past and making room for a future full of possibilities. He realizes that even in the darkest moments, love is the light that guides the way, the strength that sustains us when all else fails. Together, father and daughter face the challenges that life throws at them with courage and determination. They know it won't be easy, that there will be ups and downs along the way, but they have each other, and that's all that matters. With the child now in his arms, Michael realizes that they have a second chance to build a life together, with the exciting rebuilding of their family, full of adventures, laughter and unconditional love. Together, father and daughter explore the world around them, discovering new wonders with every step. They visit parks, beaches and museums, creating memories that will be treasured for a lifetime. Every moment is a blessing, an opportunity to connect and strengthen the bonds that unite you. At night, they share stories around the campfire, laughter and smiles lighting up the night sky. It's as if time has stopped, and they are living in a world of their own, where love is the only thing that matters. As the days pass, Michael's family blossoms like a flower that blooms in spring. They face challenges together, overcoming obstacles with courage and determination. And, in the midst of all this, the bond between father and daughter only grows stronger. They become more than simply father and daughter, they become friends, confidants, soulmates. They share secrets, dreams and hopes, building a relationship that will stand the test of time. Every moment shared between father and daughter is precious, and Michael never stops being grateful for the miracle of having her back in his life. In the quiet moments, when the sun sets over the horizon and the world seems to slow down, Michael looks at his daughter with a twinkle in his eye. He remembers the dark days when he believed he would never see her again, and his heart fills with gratitude for the second chance she has been given. He knows that nothing is guaranteed in this life, that the future is uncertain and fragile. But he also knows he has something precious that many will never have, the love of his daughter, a light that guides his path even in his darkest moments. And so, he makes a silent promise to himself and to her. He promises to never stop valuing every moment together, every laugh shared, every hug tight. He promises to be there for her through thick and thin, and to never let her go. And his daughter, with her eyes full of love and gratitude, promises him the same. She promises to love and care for him, as he did for her, and to never let him forget how much he is loved and valued. As father and son face life's challenges together, they become an inspiration to others, reminding us all of the importance of cherishing our loved ones and never giving up hope. Throughout their lives, father and daughter discover that true strength does not lie in the absence of challenges, but in the ability to face them together, to support each other in difficult times and to celebrate together in victories. They learn that true love knows no limits, that it can transcend the barriers of time and space, uniting hearts even when the world seems to conspire to separate them. They become a living example of the power of love and determination, inspiring those around them to face their own challenges with courage and hope. As the sun sets over the horizon, painting the sky with shades of orange and pink, golden rays bathe father and daughter, enveloping them in a warm glow that warms their hearts. They look at each other with eyes full of hope and gratitude, knowing that the worst is over and that a new beginning awaits them. There are no more tears of sadness, just smiles of happiness and anticipation for what the future holds. As they walk together towards the future, father and daughter know that they will face challenges along the way, but they are ready to face them together, as a true family. They know that as long as they have each other, they will have everything they need to face whatever fate has in store for them with courage, determination and, above all, love. Thank you for watching this far. Don't forget to subscribe to continue receiving the next videos. Until later.